everyone, it's Max, and today I'm here with my December TBR. Now, I did decide not to do TBR cards this month, even though it's literally the second month that I would have done it, and that's because for the past few years, my goal in December is to try and finish out as many series that I started in that year as possible. And I didn't think that that was conducive to a TBR game. So I am just going to talk about a bunch of sequels that I'm hoping to get to this month. A lot of them are finishing the series or continuing a series, like catching up on a series if it isn't finished. So without further ado, let's just get into it. These are in no particular order. I just have them in a bag and I'm pulling them out of a bag. So the first book I'm going to be talking about is Hollowpox, The Hunt for Morgan Crow by Jessica Townsend. This is the third book in the Morgan Crow series. I have been really enjoying it. I really enjoyed the first two, and I've been reading them as they came out, so I'm very excited to pick this one up. This is about a girl named Morgan Crow who, when she is born on this like specific day, people think she's cursed and they blame everything bad that happens on her. But on her 13th or 12th birthday, when it's predestined that she's going to die, she is taken away to a magical city by this guy and put into this academy, and she's learning magic, and people believe that she is the next Wondersmith, which is the last Wondersmith was a villain. So I have really been enjoying the books. Honestly, I can't remember a lot of what happened in the second book, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to catch up quickly in this. If not, that is going to be an issue. Next book is a reread for me, and that is A Reaper at the Gates, and then I am going to want to read A Sky Before the Storm by Saba Tahir. I'm so excited. The Sky Before the Storm is the last book in this series, and this series has just been an amazing, amazing series. I've read them each as they came out, and I'm just so excited for the fourth one. This is a series that's kind of based on the ancient Rome, and we have two main characters. One is the son of this very, very evil, bloodthirsty woman, and he's at this academy to become a kind of an assassin for the king, or not an assassin, but kind of like the king's like right-hand man who will kill everyone that he wants. And our other point of view is Laya, who is this girl who becomes a spy and becomes like a servant at this academy. And I'm loving this series. Almost everyone knows what it's about, but I am planning on rereading A Reaper at the Gates because honestly, again, can't remember a whole lot of what happened, and then reading A Sky Before the Storm. The next book is going to come as no surprise to anyone who is a Brandon Sanderson fan, and that is Rhythm of War by Brandon Sanderson. It came out, it's here, I'm so excited. It's huge. This is definitely going to be the first book I read in December. I can't wait to pick it up. It's 1,220 pages. It's huge. I mean, like, oh my god, like, it's so big. I'm so excited. I love the cover. I'm just so happy to have it, and I just cannot wait. If you don't know what this series is about, this is about a world that's at war, and we follow four main characters. One is the brother of the assassinated king. One is a noblewoman who is sent to the princess's court to spy and steal a relic. One is a healer turned soldier turned slave, and then one is an assassin in white who weeps as he kills. And there is a prophecy that is kind of pre-telling the end of the world, and they're trying to fight against it. And out of those four characters, one is destined to destroy the world, one is destined to save it. And it's just so good. I recently finished Oathbringer, my reread of Oathbringer, and I am so ready to pick this up. The next book is continuing and finishing a series I've been reading for the past couple months, and that is Empire of Gold by S.A. Chakraborty. As I'm filming this, I'm in the middle of reading Kingdom of Copper, and I'm loving it. And I haven't felt this way about a series in quite a while, where I'm like rushing to finish Kingdom of Copper so I can pick this up as soon as possible. I am absolutely adoring it. This trilogy is about a girl named Nari who believes she's just a regular human in ancient Egypt, but when she accidentally summons Deva, he reveals that she is part of this ancient lineage of people who can heal, and he takes her to this city called Devabad, and he presents her to the king, as well as our other point of view, Ali, who's his son, and she is thrown into this awful bloodthirsty court and tries to navigate her way around it with an awful king. I am loving Kingdom of Copper so much. I just like can't wait to pick it up again. Like I'm 150 pages from the end and I just want to read it, and I'm so excited to read this. It's 700 and something pages. It's so big, and I'm just so scared because right now they're definitely stuck between a rock and a hard place, and I just need to know what happens next, and I'm so pumped to finally read this. The next book is my Tamora Pierce book of the month, and it is the last book in the Protector of the Small series, and that is Lady Knight. The Protector of the Small series follows the first Lady Knight since Alana, and she kind of has to face the sexism and bullying that Alana never had to face because Alana pretended to be a boy. And now, as the title implies, Kell is a knight, and she is kind of, I'm a little nervous about this last book because something was introduced in the past book Squire that is gonna kind of be like the end game, but I'm like, okay, this wasn't really foreshadowed at all in the first 2 books, and it was just foreshadowed at the end, or introduced at the end of Squire, and so I'm a little nervous about that. I'm a little nervous that it's kind of gonna be like this, all of a sudden there's this big bad that she has to fight and we didn't even know about it till the 3rd book. And I'm not a huge fan of that because the Alana series, they kind of, it was building, like the villain was introduced maybe not in the first book, but pretty soon. And then the second series was, the Immortals Quartet was definitely introduced like immediately. And so I kind of wish that that had been the case, but I guess I'll see. All right, and then the next book is for the readathon that I'm participating in, the Tolkien Along, and we are reading Return of the King by J.R.R. Tolkien, the last book in the Lord of the Rings series. I'm very excited. This looks huge. Half of it was like appendixes and an index. So it's literally like only half the book. And what I realized when I finally picked up the Two Towers was that this edition that I got of this series, like it's counts as it goes. So it's like, it doesn't start over at page 1. This starts on page 977 because that's where Two Towers ended. And so it ends at page like 1300 and something, but it's not, so that's the series as a whole. This is only like, I can't remember what it was, but like 370 pages. Like it's so short. But what I think is the reason is that J.R.R. Tolkien sucks at writing action scenes. So like the big battle that happens at the end of this, I have a feeling is gonna be like 5 to 10 pages. And so that is where these become so short, but translate to such long movies. And I'm just like, I'm so surprised with how long it has taken me to read these. I was just very nervous, but they're so fast. They're so fast paced. The writing is really accessible, and I'm really excited to finally finish the series. The next book is the end of a series, and that is the Tower of Nero, which is in the Trials of Apollo series by Rick Riordan. This is about Apollo, and he is sent to Earth in the form of a teenage boy when he angers his dad, and he has to help these people save the world. It includes Percy, it includes the characters of the Percy Jackson series, it includes the characters of the Heroes of Olympus series, and I'm so excited to see how it finally ends. Honestly, I remember a lot of what happens in the past book, but I don't remember like everything. So we'll see how this goes, but I'm hoping to really enjoy it, and I'm hoping that it ends well. All right, and then the last book that I have on hand is The Shadow of Kyoshi by F.C. Yee. I read The Rise of Kyoshi earlier in August, really enjoyed it, and when I saw this at the bookstore the other day, I realized, oh, this is the last book, so why not also try to finish this series? It's super short. I flew through The Rise of Kyoshi, so I have no doubts that I will fly through this one too. This takes place in the Avatar: The Last Airbender world, and the Avatar is a person who can control all the elements, and he is resurrected. The spirit is resurrected in a different element each time. This follows Kyoshi, who is the past Earth Avatar, and I love her. She is so cool. No, you can't not love Kyoshi. She's just so awesome. I'm really excited to see how her story wraps up. All right, and then I do have a couple of arcs to talk about that are also sequels, and the first one is The Ever After by Amanda Hocking, which is the last book in the Oh, not the Trill series, but the other type of troll. And this was, I've read the whole series this year. I've gotten arcs for each book, and so I am really excited to finish it out. This is about a girl who's a half troll and is trying to find her family. And she works in this secret city that kind of like you have to go to Minneapolis in Minnesota to access. And she is kind of uncovering this plot. The second book ended on a huge cliffhanger, so I am excited to start the third. And then the last book I'm going to be talking about is The Court of Swans by Melanie Dickerson. She writes retellings that I enjoy. I read them like every once in a while. They're really easy, really fast-paced. There is a theme of religion, which is not my favorite, but it's usually very subdued and just like a little bit there, and so it's good. I can't remember what this is a retelling of. I want to say like The Swan Princess or like Swan Lake, but I'll be able to talk to you more about it once I read it. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Keep an eye out for my reading vlogs as I get through this large stack of sequels. And I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you soon with another video. Bye!